For me, I think the biggest thing that football taught me was how to overcome adversity.
At some point in your life, you're going to have some tough times.
You have to have that next play mentality.
That cohesiveness and that working together, that's really something special that you can't get in a lot of other areas.
When you practice that and you live that in other phases of your life, it becomes second nature because all you know how to do is fight.
It's not an easy game. If it were easy, everyone would do it.
You start to appreciate the smaller contributions that people make. You don't just look at the big one because you knew it took 6 or 7 other guys who are unsung.
And you know, you can't take shortcuts and be successful.
Doing what they do to make it possible for the guy getting the press clippings or whatever it might be.
In this game, whether it's as a coach or a player.
So I would certainly say that you know, you definitely got a very quick lesson in how to overcome adversity playing football.
And don't forget to check out and order your copy of our latest book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. You can find this available in both paperback and PDF form on our website at footballgameplan.com/books. Blake Bortles is coming off an expected up-and-down rookie season, and where you would like to see growth from Bortles this year would be in the mechanics accuracy department. Those two go hand in hand. When one is sloppy, the other one tends to get affected. Now, Bortles can be productive, and it's great that the staff threw him in there very early last season, so that way he now knows what he has to work on and has to improve in order to help this Jags offense get rolling. Chad Henne returns as a capable number 2 option. The best way to help out a young quarterback is with the running game, and the Jacksonville Jaguars made sure to invest in this position via the draft by selecting TJ Yeldon out of Alabama. Yeldon at 6'2", 225 is a slashing runner with above average vision and receiving skills, and I think his best football is ahead of him, and he'll start from day one. Now, in my opinion, once Storm Johnson gets healthy, he should be the number 2 guy because of what he brings to the table both as a runner and as a receiver. Toby Gerhart, Denard Robinson, and free agent signing Bernard Pierce also provide quality depth. The overall success of this unit could really elevate this offense. This group, I believe, has the biggest potential for growth for Jacksonville. There's a ton of talent here on the roster. Second-year players Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns played well as rookies last season. Marquise Lee is another second-year guy that's expected to make a significant contribution this year. Now, Lee has all of the talent in the world, but has to shake off those nagging injuries, same nagging injuries that he suffered back at USC. Now, those 3 give Jacksonville a formidable 3 wide receiver set, and I'm a big fan of rookie 5th-round pick Rashad Green out of Florida State, who can be a dependable slot guy after being one of the most prolific receivers in FSU history. He and undrafted free agent Neil Sterling out of Monmouth are definitely 2 guys you want to keep an eye on. Now, I got the chance to see Sterling live last year versus Delaware State, and he was very impressive. I still hold out hope that Aurelius Ben can stay healthy and realize his immense potential. He and Tandon Doss are trying to make it back from injury. Now, the Jags have a strong quartet at tight end with Mercedes Lewis, free agent signee Julius Thomas, Clay Harbor, and Nick Jacobs. Quite honestly, it could be a quintet, as I'm very high on 7th-round pick Ben Koyak out of Notre Dame, who has good all-around game. Now, Thomas and Lewis give Jacksonville a potent 1-2 combo that can control the middle of the field, while guys like Harbor and Jacobs can excel in swing roles as H-backs. Koyak can play inline, which instantly provides value, but either way, there's no shortage of options here for Blake Bortles. I really like some of the moves made by the Jags along the offensive line. I think the signing of Stefan Wisniewski was big. In my opinion, he should get the starting nod at center over Luke Bowanko, and Bowanko isn't a bad player. I just feel like Wisniewski is an upgrade at that spot. Either way, it bolsters the depth along the offensive front for Jacksonville. Another move I like was the drafting of A.J. Cann out of South Carolina. Cann was one of the more polished offensive linemen out of college and was a 4-year starter, and he'll compete with veteran Zane Beadles. And in my opinion, I think Cann should be the guy. Guard Brandon Linder and left tackle Luke Jokel are good foundation pieces up front and look like mainstays for Jacksonville. And they signed right tackle Jeremy Parnell via free agency from Dallas, which pushes last year's starter Austin Patzer into a reserve role, bolstering the depth along the front with Tyler Shatley, Sam Young, and also Josh Wells.
I love football. I cannot get enough of football. I watch it on every level.
The emotional release. You know, whether it's an exciting play that gets you all jacked up and juiced, or whether it's the fact that you're able to pour everything you have. Whatever frustration you had that week, you can put into that first kickoff coverage, that first block that you have, whatever it might be.
And I couldn't think of anything better to do to fill that void that you have as a football player than to get into coaching.
You get a chance to release a lot of emotion that you otherwise have no place to release. There's nothing else like that.
Again, the relationships you build and the people you're around, and watching the guys compete, not just on the football field, but in life after they get done playing. It's just an amazing game.
The Jags are stronger at tackle than they are at end, mainly due to injury, and losing first-round pick Dante Fowler out of Florida was a big blow to the defensive end spot, as they were expecting him to be an impact contributor day one. His loss means 12-year vet Chris Clemons will end up being the starter once he gets back healthy, and I'm a big fan of Andre Branch, and he'll compete with Ryan Davis, Tyson Alualu, and second-year man Chris Smith for the other starting spot. I would keep an eye on Smith. I think he showed enough in his brief stint last year to warrant extended playing time. On the inside, free agent signee Jared Odrick and Senderick Marks, who's also returning from an ACL injury, make a really strong duo. Good depth with rotational, situational guys in Ziggy Hood, Roy Miller, and rookie 6th-round pick Mike Bennett out of Ohio State. I think also he has a good chance of cracking the rotation along with Abry Jones, who held his own last season. The starters are decent and capable, but the depth here is a concern. I really like the athleticism of Paul Puslesny and Telvin Smith, and I would look for Smith to continue to grow his game in year two. Free agent signee Dan Scooter comes over from the San Francisco 49ers to man the other outside linebacker spot, and I believe this was a very underrated signing by Jacksonville. I like Scooter's game. The Jags really can't afford any injuries here. Leroy Reynolds and Jeremiah George were the only two guys who logged playing time last season. The Jaguars made moves in the offseason to get better production from this group, and they got better at nickel with Devon House and at free safety with Sergio Brown coming over from the Indianapolis Colts. Both are solid players that immediately help strengthen the secondary. Second-year man Aaron Colvin is now 2 years removed from an ACL injury he suffered at the Senior Bowl and will be hard-pressed to keep off the field. He may even push Dwayne Gratz into a reserve role. Gratz has to become much more consistent game in, game out in order to keep that starting spot. Demetrius McCray starts at the other corner spot and has been a much more solid and consistent player than his fellow 2013 classmate in Gratz. Starting opposite of Brown at safety is Jonathan Cyprien, who must begin to make more impactful plays like we saw from him at FIU. There's good depth here as well with Craig Lawson out of LSU and Josh Evans. Lawson, I believe, should garner more playing time in the regular defense, and rookie James Sample will have to wait to make an impact as he's currently on the PUP list. Outside of kicker Josh Scobie, the Jaguars have some concerns in the special teams department. The return game suffers as Jordan Topman is no longer on the roster, and they need help at both return spots. Tandon Doss, if healthy, can be that guy at the punt return spot, or maybe even Rashad Green can help out at kickoff or punt returner. The club also needs punter Brian Anger to be better. He was drafted to be a threat, and right now he has just been decent. I have the Jags finishing 4th in the AFC South, and I think this year we'll see the offense be much better than the defensive side of the football. And if Jacksonville can overcome injuries and a lack of depth on the defensive side, they could make things interesting in the division. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Jaguar fan forums for always showing football game plan support.